God doesn't want you to get a job. They told you to play it safe, to be realistic, to go to school, get good grades, and find a job that pays the bills, a job that keeps you busy enough to forget that you were born with fire in your soul. But tell me something. If you were truly designed by the hand of the Creator, why would your purpose fit inside a paycheck? God did not craft you in His image so you could trade your hours for dollars and die with your dreams still buried in your chest. Number. He planted something far more powerful in you, a vision, a seed of divine potential, and every day you ignore it. Every morning you wake up dreading the sound of the alarm clock, you feel it, the ache of misalignment, the silent war between who you are and what you settled for. Because the truth is, God doesn't want you to get a job. He wants you to answer your calling. And make no mistake, they are not the same. A job is a role you fill. A calling is a force that fills you. One drains you, the other sets you on fire. Look at history. Do you think Thomas Edison had a job when he was sleeping in his lab, testing 10,000 filaments just to invent one light bulb? Do you think Henry Ford played it safe when he walked away from a high-paying position at Edison Illuminating Company because he believed in a horseless carriage? Jobs didn't build empires. Visions did. Conviction did. Purpose, discipline, obsession, that's what built the world you now live in. But here's the tragedy. Most people spend more time planning a weekend than they do planning their lives. They follow the path of the masses, not realizing that mass conformity is a modern form of slavery. You're told what to wear, what time to show up, what to say, and how long you can eat lunch. And they call that freedom? No. That's a cage built with invisible bars. And the worst part? You hold the key, but you're too afraid to use it. Why? Because fear is the currency of the average. And you were never meant to be average. The real work is not finding a job. It's finding the courage to listen to that quiet voice inside you. The one that whispers, "There's more for you than this." It's finding the clarity to say, "I will no longer apologize for wanting more. I will no longer play small to make others feel comfortable. I will no longer hand over my time, the most sacred gift I've been given, for something that doesn't move my spirit." God doesn't want you to have a boss. He wants you to become the master of your own mind, because when He gave you life, He gave you dominion, not submission. You were born to create, to build, to serve the world with the gifts He placed in you. And those gifts, they don't fit in a cubicle. But I'll tell you what does: complacency, doubt, the slow death of your potential. Every day you force yourself to do something that drains you. You teach your subconscious that survival matters more than purpose. But here's the secret no one told you. When you move toward your calling, the resources show up. The people show up. The opportunities arrive because you're no longer operating on logic. You're aligned with divine law. Bob Proctor said, "You were born rich." He wasn't talking about money in the bank. He was talking about the gold within you, ideas, passion, vision. That's where wealth begins. You don't need a job. You need a decision, a burning desire backed by unwavering faith. Because once you decide, the universe rearranges itself in your favor. And yet, the world will try to pull you back. They'll say you're reckless. They'll say you're unrealistic. They'll say you're chasing fantasies. But here's what they'll never understand. Faith is reckless to those who've only known fear. Vision is unrealistic to those who've only obeyed. You don't owe the world explanations. You owe your Creator your full potential. You are not here to exist. You are here to expand mentally, spiritually, financially. You are not here to blend in. You are here to light the path for others who forgot they were born with greatness in their bones. And yes, it will be hard. It will be lonely. You will doubt yourself. You will be tested. But if you ever wonder whether you're on the right path, remember this. The path to your calling will always require a version of you that your job never needed. It's not about walking away from a paycheck. It's about walking toward your purpose. And once you taste that kind of life, you'll never be able to go back. You see, the moment you shift from "I have to work" to "I get to build," everything inside you begins to change. Your posture, your pace, your presence. Because now, you're not reacting to life, you're commanding it. You're no longer begging for opportunity. You're becoming the source of it. But understand this, the world doesn't reward need, it rewards belief. And belief isn't something you find, it's something you build. You build it every time you take one more step when no one's watching. Every time you reject the comfort of predictability for the fire of the unknown. Every time you choose discipline over distraction. Because success, real, soul-deep success, isn't a result. It's a vibration. And when your thoughts align with that frequency, you become a magnet for miracles. This is what Bob Proctor meant when he said, "Thoughts become things." He wasn't just quoting philosophy. He was describing spiritual law. You are always creating. The only question is, are you creating from fear or from faith? And here's the part that shakes most people to their core. Your job, that so-called security, is the illusion. You think it's stability, but it's really just a carefully packaged version of dependency. Your income depends on someone else. Your schedule depends on someone else. Your future depends on someone else. And every hour you trade for a paycheck, you trade a piece of your soul's direction. Now, does this mean quit your job tomorrow? This isn't about being reckless. This is about awakening. This is about refusing to let your job become your identity, because you are not your title. You are not your tasks. You are not your salary. You are a visionary force of creation wrapped in human skin. And when you finally grasp that, when you remember who sent you and why you were sent, you'll stop asking for permission to be great. Let's talk about clarity, because without it, you'll keep waking up every day in a fog, chasing goals that don't even belong to you. Clarity is power. Clarity is what separates the wanderer from the warrior. If you don't know what you want, you'll spend your life helping someone else build what they want. And most of the time, they want you to stay small. So get clear, not on what you can do, but on what you must do. What burns in you so hot that you can't ignore it anymore? What idea keeps visiting you in your sleep? What vision makes you emotional just thinking about it? That's not a coincidence. That's your assignment. And the moment you get serious about it, everything changes. The doubt shrinks. The fear dissolves. The path reveals itself, because clarity cuts through confusion like a blade. And when you move with clarity, you move with authority. But don't confuse clarity with convenience. Your path will not always make sense to others. That's because your vision was given to you, not voted on by them. Don't wait for consensus. Don't wait for applause. Don't wait for the timing to be perfect. It never will be. What matters is this: have you decided? Because once you decide, really decide, doors open where there were only walls. Resources appear where there once was lack. And what used to feel like resistance becomes confirmation that you're on the right path. The universe doesn't move for hesitation, it moves for conviction. And that's why most people stay stuck in jobs they hate. Not because they lack talent, but because they lack decision. They're waiting for a sign, they're waiting for certainty. But let me tell you this, God doesn't reward waiting, He rewards walking. When Moses parted the Red Sea, he had to step in first. The miracle didn't come before the movement, it came because of it. So ask yourself, are you standing still waiting for a door to open that only opens when you knock? This is not the age of survival. This is the age of awakening. You were born for the overflow, not barely enough. You want to honor God? Don't just thank Him for the job. Multiply the gift He gave you. Build something that outlives you. Create something so bold, so pure, so impactful that the world knows your Creator by the fruits of your life, because that's what you're here for, not just to make money, but to move mountains. You were given the power to think, to choose, to believe. That means you're not a victim. You're a vessel. And the moment you stop treating your mind like a storage unit for fear and start using it like the sacred workshop of creation that it is, everything changes. Your circumstances shift, your energy shifts, your identity shifts. And when your identity shifts, so does your destiny. There's a reason Jesus didn't say, go get a job and stay safe. Yes, he said, go. Go into all the world. Go make disciples. Go heal. Go teach. Go build. There was movement in the mission. There was purpose in the action. And not once did he call the faithful to mediocrity, because mediocrity is a betrayal of the breath God put in your lungs. You weren't created to clock in and disappear. You were created to command light into dark places, to disturb the comfort zones of those around you, to walk in such divine alignment with your calling that your presence becomes a catalyst for change. And yes, it will offend some. Comfort will hate you. Complacency will whisper. But don't listen. You weren't born to blend. You were born to break generational patterns and establish a new standard. Let's talk about discipline, because without it, all your vision becomes is fantasy. Bob Proctor understood this. He taught that discipline isn't punishment, it's alignment. It's your way of proving to the universe that you're ready, that you're trustworthy, that you'll keep showing up, whether the feelings follow or not. Discipline is doing what must be done, even when no one claps, no one watches, and no one understands. It's setting the alarm before sunrise because you said you would. It's working your dream after your day job because your legacy matters more than your leisure. It's cutting off distractions, replacing comfort with focus, and refusing to be another name on the list of almost. Listen to me. Your life doesn't rise to the level of your hopes. It rises to the level of your habits. Want to change your life? Change what you do when no one is looking. Do you understand what's happening the moment you choose to pursue your calling? You are tapping into divine frequency. You are aligning thought with spirit. You are telling every cell in your body, we are done surviving. We are ready to thrive. You begin attracting different people, different situations. You begin to see differently, not with your eyes, but with your spirit. Opportunities that once seemed impossible, now they're magnetized to your movement. Because the moment you align with purpose, you stop chasing and you start attracting. But don't mistake this for ease. This isn't about sitting back and visualizing while the world rearranges. This is about co-creating with the Creator. It means showing up with intention, speaking life over your vision, and acting like the future you desire is already real, because in the unseen, it already is. There's a rhythm to this world, a current that runs beneath what most people see, and most are too distracted to feel it. But those who live by faith, not fear, they feel it. They move with it. They create with it. They don't ask, is this practical? They ask, is this aligned? Because the greatest breakthroughs never start with logic. They start with a knowing, an unshakable inner conviction. That's the birthplace of miracles. Walt Disney was fired for lacking imagination. Colonel Sanders had his chicken recipe rejected over 1,000 times. Les Brown was labeled educably mentally retarded, and yet they persisted, not because they had a job, but because they had a vision. Because when your why is big enough, your how will find you. God doesn't want you to find a job. He wants you to find your reason. And once you find it, protect it like your life depends on it, because it does. And hear me clearly now. You are not too late. You are not too old. You are not too far gone. That's the lie the world sells to those who wake up. But the truth? The truth is, your timing is divine. Because this moment, this awakening, it didn't happen by accident. You were meant to hear this, to remember, to rise. The dream isn't dead. You just buried it beneath fear and routine, but it's still alive. It's still calling your name, and it will keep calling until you answer. But to walk this road, you must give up the need for approval. Because once you leave the path of the job, the safe, the known, you will be misunderstood. Your family may not get it. Your friends might mock it. Society will resist it. But your soul will know. It will recognize the path. It will whisper, this is it. And you'll walk with power, not arrogance, but authority. Because when you walk in your calling, you walk with God. Not behind Him, not in front. With Him, aligned, empowered, unstoppable. So if you've been waiting, wait no more. The world doesn't need more employees. It needs more visionaries, more builders, more believers, people who will stand up and say, I refuse to waste one more breath on anything less than the life I was created to live. So here you are, standing at the edge of two realities. One is familiar, predictable, safe, quiet. It pays the bills, it pleases the crowd, it numbs the ache. The other, it's terrifying, uncertain, demanding. It doesn't come with guarantees, only the burning echo of a question. What if? What if you're capable of more than they told you? What if every struggle prepared you for this moment? What if the fear you've been avoiding is actually the compass? Because let me tell you, fear doesn't mean stop. Fear means go there. Fear is the boundary line between who you've been and who you were meant to become. And the only way to silence it is to walk straight through it. God isn't calling you to be comfortable. He's calling you to be courageous. He's calling you to create, not just for you, but for every soul who needs your story. Because when you choose purpose over paycheck, when you decide to build the life God placed in your imagination, you don't just change your life. You become the evidence that it's possible. Your rise gives others permission to rise. Your decision becomes their inspiration. Your breakthrough becomes their blueprint. This is the ripple effect of living in alignment, and it never starts with a job. It starts with choice. So choose right here, right now. Choose vision over comfort, faith over fear, calling over conformity. Choose to become the person God dreamed of when He formed you, the person who stops asking, "What should I do?" and starts declaring, "This is who I am." The person who doesn't wait for doors to open, but builds their own. The person who wakes up early, prays with fire, works with excellence, and refuses to shrink back into the shadows of convenience. You want success? You want fulfillment? You want legacy? Then burn the plan B. Delete the backup option. Say goodbye to average and walk with conviction into the unknown, because your destiny isn't in the safety net. It's in the stretch. It's in the surrender. It's in the faith that says, God, I will go where you send me, even if I can't see the path. And as you walk, listen closely. You will hear the whispers of the world saying, be realistic. You're dreaming too big. Just get a job and be grateful. But deeper still, beneath all the noise, you will hear the whisper of your Creator saying, this is the way, walk in it. You were made for more. I didn't give you that vision to tease you. I gave it to lead you. And in that moment, you'll realize God doesn't want you to get a job. He wants you to wake up, to rise, to walk in the fullness of what He created you to be. Not a cog in a machine, not a name on a payroll, not a soul surviving on repeat, but a voice, a light, a builder of destiny. So I ask you now, not as a stranger, but as a fellow traveler, a believer in your power, as someone who knows what it feels like to battle the pull of safety while hearing the roar of purpose in your chest. Will you choose what's easy, or will you choose what's eternal? Because in the end, it's not about your job, it's about your assignment, and the world is waiting for you to say yes. Now go, create, lead, multiply, become, and never look back. Thank you for joining me today. Please like and subscribe, and please leave a comment. We would love to hear from you.